So everyone, I've been playing Dayz over the past weeks, and I thought I'd give my opinion on the game so far.
Right now.
Yeah, but we could also go to the northwest and get all our gear back, pretty much.
Let's have a laugh.
Carry on that.
We need to get this direct. But no.
Yeah.
We gotta see how we gotta be going as fast as we possibly can, right? Right.
My name is Martin McFly Jr. and I'm a bomb.
Go.
I'm still reversing, calm down. Okay, I'm coming. There's no stopping this now, but...
Oh no.
Prepare to die, you fucko! Oh, I blacked out.
Same.
The first part of my Dayz review is going to be about the survival elements of Dayz. The survival element of Dayz in terms of eating, drinking and medicine is pretty simple. Every item gives you a little bit of food and water. Every item, so even canned drinks will give you a little bit of food, and even food will give you a little bit of water, regardless of what type of food. There is dirty water and stuff like that, but it's mostly negligible because you can just go to water pumps that are situated in nearly every town. So that really isn't a big factor. The biggest factor is probably just eating food. It's pretty easy to come by, if I'm honest with you, but the actual items to open canned food and all that can be scarce if you're near the end of a wipe or something. So that bit's not all too hard. Another part of surviving is the medicine. Medicine isn't all too important. The only type of disease so far is a cold, and you find tetracycline pretty commonly in some areas, such as barracks and hospitals. Although it is a little bit of a nuisance, it's not really much of a gameplay hindrance in terms of general gameplay. In combat it can be annoying, but roughly it's now negligible 90% of the time. That leads me into the second part of the review, combat. Melee combat is iffy. It's not the only time you really ever use it is when fighting zombies, and 90% of the time after the first 20 minutes of gameplay you just start using guns. So melee isn't a huge factor, although some unassuming melee weapons are better than others, such as canned food seems to be a lot better than most melee weapons, where it uses little stamina and is really high damage. But most combat comes from guns. Guns come in a variety of ways, but most useful guns come under rifles or sniper rifles. Sniper rifles are pretty easy to use, but 90% of the time you'll just be using a normal rifle to take care of zombies. Pistols are also in the game, but however they're a lot less useful. You can get holsters, but they're not really useful 90% of the time because you just want high power weapons.
Oh no.
Prepare to die, you fucko! Oh, I blacked out.
Same. Why is my car still working then? Why is my car still driving? My car's still driving. What the fuck?
I can see. I'm in third person. Oh my god. Oh fuck, I was still driving. My car's still drivable as well. Where the fuck am I though? I'm over here.
I'm not even woken up yet.
But I wasn't even on yellow health. I was on white the entire time.
Oh, I'm on white as well. Oh, I'm waking up.
Alright, but get to the bottom of that hill again. I want death.
Oh man, also we just drive into see drive to the tent.
Stop being a massive pussy, bud. As you can see from that clip, driving in Dayz can be so fun. However, 99% of the gameplay is nothing like this. At the best of times, it's glitchy, buggy and inconsistent at best. You'll get massive frame drops that can last anywhere from 3 to 20 seconds. And most of the time, at the end of this frame drop, you'll find your car crashed, you're either unconscious or dead. This needs to be fixed, otherwise getting around the map will be so difficult. You'll be carrying a lot of equipment and you'll just die, and it's so frustrating, especially if your gear despawns. You'll have to go to another base, risk it being KOS'd, and then have to do it all over again. And sometimes you'll even have to take your clan members' loot because you can't do anything. Overall, the driving in Dayz is just bad. It's inconsistent and you cannot drive at all. Driving is a death sentence to you or your friends. Building in Dayz can be pretty polarizing. The game doesn't teach you where or how to craft certain items, and you basically need a more experienced player to babysit you through the entire process of base building. 99% of the time you don't know what's happening or what's going on. I find that base building in Dayz can be quite lacking in terms of complexity and its variation. There are only 7 items, 2 man-made items, being fences and watchtowers, 3 tents, being a medium tent, a large tent and a car tent, and 2 barrel variations, both being the same except looking different. The bases nearly all look the same except for the geometry of the building or the trees near the base. If you compare this to other games in the same genre, such as Rust, there are more constructibles than there are placeable items in all of Dayz. It's pretty pathetic. Looting is pretty standard in Dayz. You find items laying around in places you would think they would be, such as guns being near military bases, food being more in residential areas, and medicine and other health items being at hospitals or military bases. Nothing too complex or out of the ordinary, it's pretty generic. Bugs are a big part of Dayz. There are so many bugs in Dayz you could call them a feature. Just to name a few: guns not being able to take the sights off directly, cars not giving out the loot you put in, items not being able to hold or put in your inventory, items appearing for you but others can't see them, and so on. There are so many bugs in Dayz, and they're not hidden, and they don't happen every 100 hours. They are there every 5 minutes. So overall, I'll be giving Dayz a 4 out of 10, but its bugs are too prominent to not consider in the review. Its depth is shallow at best, and it's unforgiving, not for its gameplay but for its bugs. Thanks for watching. If only